What's up guys, Eric here from Timecodes TV, and today I'm going to be showing you guys literally everything you can do with the S-View flip cover case with S Pen for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And I also have the non-S Pen version so I can give you guys a quick size comparison as well. And as always, I do have video time codes down in the description so you guys can quickly find exactly what you're looking for. And if you guys appreciate video time codes, let me know by dropping a like down below. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. Inside the box, you obviously get the case itself, as well as the S Pen separately. And when you flip this open, you get a couple more things. You get some documentation showing you how to put the case on, which you probably don't need to see. And you also get this little piece here, and this is some spare S Pen tips. So if I pull this out, you have your S Pen extractor tool, and then inside here, you also get two S Pen tips. You get a black tip and a white tip. The black tip is a standard replacement tip, which is exactly the same as the tip that comes with your S Pen. This tip has a lot of friction to it, which makes it feel a bit more natural when you're writing or drawing. The white tip is made out of a harder plastic and has almost no friction, so this is better if you're typically using your S Pen to swipe around your screen, but you're not doing too much writing or drawing with your S Pen. And to quickly demonstrate how the extraction tool works, you literally just grab the tip with it and pull. The tip pops out, then you grab whatever new tip you want, and then slide the new one in, and push it till it stops. Taking a look at the case itself, you can see that it's made out of two distinct pieces. So you have this outer shell, which is made out of a type of silicone, and it feels and looks exactly like the official silicone case that Samsung makes. And even the cutout for the S Pen looks exactly the same. There is a slight difference on the back though. So on the back of the silicone case, it's obviously still silicone, but on the back of the S-View case, it's more of a harder, soft touch material. It's not quite as squishy as the silicone, but both do feel very premium. And looking at the camera cutout, you can also see that the silicone case is obviously still silicone, and the S-View case has almost like a carbon fiber look to it. Before we put the phone in the case, let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison with the non-S Pen version. Let's go ahead and pull this out, and we'll take this out. As you can see, you don't get any S Pen with this one, you just get the documentation. So right off the bat, the size difference is noticeable. Obviously, since the one with the S Pen needs to have this extra spot on the side, it is going to be a bit wider than the non-S Pen version. Opening them up, the first thing I notice is that they're actually a very different color on the inside. The case without the S Pen is a lighter gray color, and the case with the S Pen is black. Outside of this color difference and the width difference, they are completely identical. They still have that carbon fiber looking camera cover, and they both have a cutout at the top for when you're taking a phone call. So I'm going to go ahead and set the non-S Pen one to the side for now, and we're going to focus on the S Pen version. The phone pops into the case pretty easily, just push down on all four corners, and it slides right in. You honestly don't get a ton of protection for the face of the phone. Like if you're going to lay this face down on the table, you're not going to get that much protection because the lip on this doesn't actually come up very far at all. It's certainly not as much as what you get with the silicone case. However, if you were going to drop the phone on the bottom or one of the sides, you do have plenty of protection for that. And the whole point of this case is that whenever you're not using your phone, it's going to be closed. So if you accidentally dropped your phone, it would land on this, which would actually be more protection than you'd get with the silicone case anyway. Flipping over to the back, you can see that you get plenty of protection for the cameras. And looking at the cutout on the bottom, you've got plenty of space for plugging in any connectors you want. In terms of usability, Samsung did a great job with this case. It's really easy to get the cover open and flip it around behind the phone so you can just use it as if you don't have a cover case. Using the phone like this for the past couple weeks has been totally natural, and having this cover on the back doesn't feel weird at all. And speaking of how things feel, the buttons feel very clicky and very tactile, which is obviously extremely important for any case. The only critique I have of how this case feels and looks is this little piece right here on the bottom is very flimsy, and it just kind of pushes around and moves really easily. If any part of this case is going to break or get deformed over time, it's going to be this piece right here. So I just kind of wish this was a bit more sturdy. In terms of wireless charging, the case does just fine with it. You can fast wireless charge without any issues, and if you want, you can even open the case and flip it around behind, and you'll still be able to wirelessly charge. Now, since you are adding a bit more distance from the phone to the charger, it likely won't charge quite as fast, but the differences are probably negligible. In terms of getting the S Pen in, it's pretty easy. You just push it into this little slot on the side and it snaps into place. Getting it out is also pretty easy. As you can see, there's a little notch here to pull from, and there's that same kind of notch on the back as well. So you can easily just pull this right out. However, it does hold in firmly enough that you're not going to be able to accidentally shake it out. Even if you dropped this, I'd be really surprised if the S Pen fell out. So I wouldn't worry about losing the S Pen with this case. Something else to point out with this S Pen is that there are only 2 ways to put it in because the S Pen is not perfectly round. It is actually kind of oval shaped. So you can either put it in with the Samsung text facing out, or you can flip it over and put it in with the button facing out. You technically can put it in sideways and it will stay in that way, but it doesn't stay in as securely. And I feel like if you kept it like this, if you drop the phone, there is a chance that the S Pen could fall out if you kept it in sideways. And speaking of the S Pen, I already did a deep dive comparison where I compared the S Pen that you can use with the Galaxy S21 to the S Pen that you get with the Galaxy Note 20. And in that video, I covered literally every difference between the 2 S Pens, and if you want to check that out, you can click the card that's sliding out above or the link in the description. So since I already covered the S Pen in depth, I'm not going to talk any more about it in this video, and instead we're just going to focus on the S View features. The first thing I noticed is just how fast this works. So as soon as you open the cover, you're met with your lock screen. You don't have to double tap the screen, you don't have to press the power button, you're just immediately at your lock screen. And as soon as the cover closes, you're immediately met with the S View information. So at the top, you get the time, battery percentage, and the date. And this is not something you can change. In terms of notifications, you're going to get up to 3 different notification icons, as well as a number to tell you how many other notifications you have. If you tap one of these icons, it'll just tell you to open up your cover to see the notification details. And if you tap the plus icon, it'll give you the same notification. So these notification icons are only really useful to tell you what types of notifications you have, but it doesn't really give you much more information than that. So now let's take a look at all the different controls you get with the S View cover. You can answer or reject phone calls. You can reset or dismiss timers. However, if one is currently running, you won't see any of that timer information through this window. Even if you tap the timer icon, it still won't show you any information. You can snooze or dismiss alarms as well as reminders. You'll get calendar alerts with the title and time of the event, and if you tap the word details, you can jump right into the event by opening up your cover. And in case you're wondering, the stopwatch doesn't show up in the window. So if I went ahead and started a stopwatch, and then I just locked my phone and went to my lock screen, you'd see the stopwatch right here. But if I close this, you'll see that the stopwatch doesn't show up anywhere, and if I tap this icon, all it says is I need to open up the cover to see more information. And when I do that, it takes me into the stopwatch application. So I feel like this is a missed opportunity. I feel like people would actually be able to get some use out of having a stopwatch on this window. And maybe Samsung will add that feature in a future update, but for now it's not available. If you have music playing, you do get music controls from this window. However, you do first have to push the power button to bring the screen on, and then swipe across to get to your music controls. So from here, I can play or pause, and I can also skip forward and skip backwards. As you can see, it also gives me information about the music here as well. And if I tap this, I can just open up the cover and unlock the phone, and it'll take me right into the music application. In the latest version of Android, if you're playing music or videos from multiple applications, then you'll be able to swipe across and have independent music controls between those 2 different applications. Unfortunately, this feature is not brought over to the S View cover. So if I swipe across here, you can see that I have my music controls, and if I try to swipe across or keep swiping left or right, it's just going to take me between the clock screen and the music screen. So if you're hoping to be able to control all of your media like this, unfortunately you can't. And this is always going to show whichever app is active. So this is the app that has music playing right now, so I have controls for that. And now that I switched to playing a YouTube video, you can see that the controls will now control YouTube instead. So there is everything you can do with the S View case. Let me know if you learned something new in the comments down below, and if you guys found this video helpful and want to help me out, go ahead and click the like button down below to help me beat the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my deep dive coverage of the S21 Ultra. That's it for this tech episode. God bless, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.